We don't expect it, but heartbreak arrives like an uninvited storm, tearing through the quiet corners of our lives. It leaves us shaken, hollow, and wondering if we'll ever feel whole again. But what if I told you that heartbreak isn't just an ending, it's a compass? Yes, a compass, subtle, painful, but astonishingly precise. Loss has a way of stripping away illusions, peeling back everything false until only the raw truth remains. It points us, sometimes unwillingly, toward what matters most. As the ancient Stoic Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters. In heartbreak, we find a rare, brutal clarity, who we are, what we value, and where we are truly meant to go. Think about it. The deepest pain often reveals the deepest part of ourselves. It hurts because it matters, and that ache you feel, it's not a dead end, it's a signpost. In this piece, we'll explore how heartbreak, though crushing, can secretly guide us home to a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of ourselves. And if you've ever wondered whether your pain has a purpose, you're in the right place. If this message speaks to your heart or even stirs a quiet question, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like. Your support helps us keep sharing stories and insights that matter, even when they come from life's hardest lessons. Let's turn heartbreak into a map. Together? Don't run from the pain, sit with it. The first instinct when heartbreak hits is to escape. We drown it out with noise, endless scrolling, work, parties, anything to avoid sitting in the silence of our own hurt. But here's the hard truth. What we resist persists. Heartbreak isn't a mistake or a malfunction, it's a message. It's your heart's way of saying, something mattered here, and now something is asking to be healed. Instead of running, we need to sit with it. I know it feels unbearable. Sitting alone with your grief can feel like standing in front of a tidal wave. But in that stillness, something surprising happens. Clarity begins to form. You notice things you'd missed in the noise. You see patterns in your relationships, truths about yourself, maybe even wounds that have been aching long before this heartbreak. As Epictetus taught, men are disturbed not by things but by the view which they take of them. The pain is real, but our refusal to face it is what makes it linger. By staying present with the hurt, not judging it, not rushing it, you let your inner compass recalibrate. Every tear, every pang is part of your system realigning toward what's true for you. And in this, heartbreak becomes less like a wrecking ball and more like a sculptor, carving away what no longer serves your deeper self. This first lesson is simple but powerful. Don't numb, don't flee, feel it fully. When you allow heartbreak to have its full say, it begins, slowly but surely, to show you the way home. If you're finding any of this resonates, or if you're quietly fighting through something similar, consider subscribing or liking this post. Your support helps us keep building a space where real conversations about real pain and real growth can happen. Let the broken pieces teach you. When something shatters, a relationship, a dream, a sense of certainty, it's natural to focus on the wreckage. We stare at the broken pieces of what once was and think, how do I put this back together? But what if the goal isn't to rebuild the old, but to learn from the fragments? Heartbreak cracks us open, and in those cracks truth leaks out. The sharp edges of loss have a strange way of reflecting parts of ourselves we couldn't or wouldn't see before. Maybe it's a pattern you kept repeating, a part of yourself you ignored to keep the peace, or a dream you outgrew but were too scared to leave behind. Suddenly, those pieces are in front of you, undeniable. As painful as it is, this is a rare chance to study the architecture of your heart, what it craves, what it fears, what it truly needs. The Japanese art of kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold, teaches us that breakage and repair are part of an object's history, not something to hide. The same is true for us. The heartbreak doesn't erase your worth, it redefines your shape. Each fracture holds a lesson that can make you stronger, wiser, and more in tune with who you are at your core. Instead of rushing to move on, what if you paused and asked, What is this teaching me? Not in a way that blames or shames, but with gentle, honest curiosity. That question is your compass. It turns heartbreak from pure destruction into a transformative guide. So, let the broken pieces speak, hold them up to the light. There's wisdom there, and if you listen closely, it just might guide you to a more authentic, beautiful version of yourself. If this message is helping you see things a little differently, please subscribe or give it a like. Your support keeps this space alive for everyone walking their own winding path through loss and growth. 3. Redefine. What home means heartbreak shakes the foundation of everything familiar. The person, the routine, the dreams you built around them, all of it feels like home until it's suddenly gone. In the aftermath, you're left drifting, unanchored, wondering, where do I belong now? That's one of heartbreak's cruelest tricks. It convinces you that you've lost your home. But here's a quiet truth. It's actually asking you to redefine what home really is. We often think of home as something outside ourselves, a person, a place, a relationship that gives us comfort and identity. But heartbreak reveals the flaw in that thinking. When the external is ripped away, you're forced to look inward. And though it's terrifying at first, there's a hidden gift in that reckoning, the chance to realize that you are your truest home. As you sit in the wreckage, you start to rebuild, not around someone else, but around your own values, dreams, and needs. You begin to ask deeper questions. What do I really want? What makes me feel alive? What kind of love do I deserve? These questions are the building blocks of a new foundation, sturdier and more self-defined than before. Like a compass resetting its true north, heartbreak directs you back to yourself. It strips away the illusions and attachments that made you believe you couldn't stand alone. And slowly, step by step, you begin to feel at home within your own skin, no matter where you are, no matter who stays or leaves. This lesson is tender but powerful. Your real home isn't something or someone you can lose. It's you, always has been. If you're in the process of finding your way back to yourself, I invite you to subscribe or like this post. Your support helps us keep holding space for stories of heartbreak, healing, and the journey back home. 4. Trust the silence. Between the storms, after the initial shock of heartbreak, there's a strange quiet that follows, a stillness that can feel both comforting and unsettling. It's in these silent stretches when the tears have dried for now and the chaos fades that we often ask, what now? This silence can feel like emptiness, like nothing is happening. But here's the surprising truth. The silence is where the deepest healing begins. We live in a world that rushes us to get over it, to fill the quiet with distractions and new beginnings. But heartbreak is a process, not a moment. And part of that process is learning to sit in the spaces where nothing seems to be moving. It's in these pauses that your inner compass recalibrates. Quietly, beneath the surface, your mind and heart are stitching together the broken threads of your life, even when you can't feel it happening. The ancient Stoics knew the power of stillness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The mind is like a sea. When it's calm, it reflects everything clearly." In heartbreak, those moments of calm are not signs of failure or stagnation. They are gifts. They give you room to breathe, to reflect, and to gather strength for the next step forward. So the lesson here is simple but profound. Trust the silence. Don't rush to fill it. Don't panic when progress feels invisible. Just as nature needs winter to prepare for spring, your heart needs stillness to ready itself for whatever comes next. And in time, you'll notice something beautiful. The silence that once felt empty begins to feel peaceful. It's the quiet assurance that even in heartbreak, you are growing. If this resonates with where you are right now, please consider subscribing or giving us a like. Your support helps us continue to share these quiet but powerful truths for anyone finding their way through the storm. And here we are, at the end of this journey, or maybe the beginning of yours. We've talked about heartbreak as a compass, a strange but faithful guide that leads us not just through loss, but deeper into ourselves. Maybe you recognized a piece of your own story along the way. A quiet ache, an old scar, or a truth that's been waiting patiently for your attention. Or maybe you're still in the thick of it, standing at a crossroads, wondering how to take that first fragile step forward. Either way, let's be honest, heartbreak changes us. But what's wild, what still surprises me every single time, is how it never just leaves us broken. If we let it, it carves out space for something stronger, clearer, and unexpectedly beautiful. We come back to ourselves, but different, better. Now, I want to flip the script a little. You've been reading my words, my thoughts, but here's the twist. I want to hear yours. Seriously, what's your compass moment? The thing heartbreak taught you that you never saw coming? Drop it in the comments.